it to speak about prophecy. Prophets see somehow not with total clarity. Moses saw more clearly. The prophets see through a dim glass, through an ispaklaria that doesn't convey all the image perfectly. Okay, in the Zohar, Shekhinah is the dim glass, the speculum that does not shine on its own. I'm just reading the note here, but rather reflects and transmits the other sphirot. Here, she is the medium through which the prophet perceives his spherotic vision. Okay, so that's what he means here. All prophets of the world absorb through a single facet, through two known rungs, those two sphirot. Those rungs appear through Shekhinah, the mirror that does not shine, as is written, B'mar'ah, in a vision. But that word mar'ah can also mean mirror. So he's interpreting the verse in the book of Numbers that God appears in a vision to mean God appears in a mirror, specifically in the mirror in which all colors appear. We said Shekhinah is the mirror that does not shine, but on the more positive side, she reflects all of the colors of the sphirot. She doesn't reflect her own light. In that sense, she does not shine, but she conveys the light of all the sphirot. And here she conveys the prophetic image, the prophetic vision from...
Okay, here's a little more. Moses and his father-in-law. Moses returned to Yahweh. Moses' first attempt at convincing Pharaoh to let the people go was a failure. Not only did Pharaoh refuse, he punished the Israelites with harsh labor as a result of Moses' demand. The people themselves were angry with Moses. Frustrated, he addressed God in bold terms. Adonai Elohim, my Lord God. Both these words are names of Shekhinah. The feminine divine presence, Yahweh, refers to Tiferet, a higher Sephirah. In rabbinic literature, a distinction is made between Elohim and Yahweh, the former indicating the divine attribute of judgment, the latter the attribute of compassion. See Sephirah, Deuteronomy. In the Zohar, Shekhinah, Elohim, executes judgment, and Tiferet is called compassion. The various divine names appearing in these verses stimulate Rabbi Yosef to weave a mystical midrash. Husband of Elohim, literally the man of Elohim, Deuteronomy 33:1. Moses. Husband of Elohim, literally the man of Elohim, Deuteronomy 33:1, which for the Zohar means the husband of Shekhinah Elohim. See above, the birth of Moses. Note on Shekhinah joined with him constantly. Moses is on such intimate terms with Shekhinah that he is called her husband. Therefore, he is allowed to speak to her as he wishes. It is instructive to compare this passage with a midrash on these verses. Shemot Rabbah 6:1. Rabbi Shimon, son of Yohai, said, Why did he, Moses, criticize the ways of the Blessed Holy One? As a result, the attribute of judgment sought to harm Moses, as it is written, Elohim spoke to Moses. However, since the Blessed Holy One saw that he had spoken up because of the suffering of Israel, he continued to deal with him through the attribute of compassion, as it is written, he said to him, I am Yahweh. The Zohar passage is obviously built on the Midrash. Following its example, Rabbi Yosef divides Exodus 6:2 into two sentences with two different subjects. Elohim spoke, he Yahweh said. Here the similarity ends, however. According to Rabbi Yosef, Moses is forgiven not because he was standing up for Israel, but because he is a member of the divine family, the husband of Elohim. Do you not know that I am king? The man's wife is the daughter of the king. Rabbi Yosef does not spell this out, but it is clear from the context and the second parable below. This cryptic style is characteristic of the Zohar. The reader is puzzled and forced to search the text to involve himself. As if it were possible, a common rabbinic expression used to tone down radically anthropomorphic statements. He said, Adonai, Moses addresses Shekhinah. Elohim spoke to Moses. Shekhinah begins to answer. The Midrash quoted above. The attribute of judgment sought to harm Moses, as it is written, Elohim spoke to Moses.
From above, from Netzach to the human prophets below. Let's continue with the Zohar. In a dream, I speak with him. Okay, that's how God said in the book of Numbers, God's convinced